All right, all right, all right. Get in here, get in here, get in here. We don't want to be too long. Our last video, thank you all for all the love on the last video. We just want to just kind of keep it neutral so we can look at what's going on. So in our last video, we went all the way back to 2017, where we discussed the um, possibility that the village of Dolton was looking to be run by the state. And it appears that uh, we're there, but we're going to go from that last video, which was 2017, and we're just going to fast forward a little bit into 2021. This is July 31st, their special board meeting. And what we are looking at in this video is number one, knowing everything that has transpired since 2017, where there was a projection given of the next 4 to 5 years that Dolton would be headed to be state run. So I decided to fast forward to 5 years. So we're July 31st, 2021, and this is a special board meeting. And what I want you to pay attention to is remember that everyone has this knowledge. Everyone on the board, including Tiffany, who is the mayor, sitting mayor, now, and as of July 31st, 2021. She's a sitting mayor. All the trustees have this information. Everybody knows that this is where we're headed. So I don't know, but I said, let me go back and just look at this special board meeting. Why was it called? And I just kind of found my behavioral analysis side coming out, because in hindsight, if you look at it from a standpoint of if it was if it goes to the state, if Dalton has to be run by the state, number one, it was said that they could keep who they want, they could throw out who they want. They could keep the mayor, and the trustees could be expendable. If you haven't seen that video, it's the one right before this, because I didn't expect to run into this. But now, if you look at this, having this knowledge, I want to go to the 2021 special board meeting.
Today, we're calling to order of a notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby giving that pursuant to Section 8-2-9 of the Illinois Municipal Code, the mayor and the board of trustees of the village of Dolton, Cook County, Illinois, will hold a public hearing at 11 a.m. on Saturday, July 31st, 2021, via Zoom to consider the appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2021, and ending April 30th of 2022. Members of the public will be allowed to comment on the proposed ordinance at the public hearing. A copy of the appropriation ordinance is available for viewing in the office of the village of clerk. Clerk Key, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Trustee Holmes?
Here.
Trustee Norwood?
Here.
Trustee Steve? Trustee Steve?
Present, I'm here.
Okay. Trustee Belcher?
Here.
Trustee House?
Present.
And Trustee Brown?
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. So now we're going to open it up for any questions as relates to public comment. Derek, if you can read the questions into record.
Okay, I stopped it here because people had questions, and people have valid questions. A valid question is, the Q&A versus public comment. And what I saw here was quite a different exchange. So let's look at how this public comment portion went. And I believe the chat should be in in the screen as well.
Record.
There are no questions at this time.
All right. Well, just so everybody's aware how this works, we will wait until 11:30 to hear any questions from the public. And then from there, we will conclude this hearing and we will go ahead and pass the budget.
Okay, so they waited about.
So there is one question, and it's about this. When was the proposed budget published in the newspaper per ordinance?
Go ahead, Clark.
Okay, it was posted on July 21st. July 21st. And it was in the Tribune paper.
Okay, so someone asked, was it published? Clerk Key confirmed. They're waiting for more questions. I'm going to try to fast forward through them till they get to the questions.
A quorum?
Someone just asked, is there a quorum?
A quorum?
Ah! My God, that's horrifying! The nurse turned into a giant spider, and it's mad.
Yes, there is a quorum. Every board member is accounted for, as you can see.
Another question is this meeting published on the website? I had someone call me about the meeting.
Yes, it is. It is posted on the website.
And you guys, sorry, the question came from, I guess at this point, former trustee Dwayne Muhammad. They're waiting quite a long time too. And she's answering. She's answered. Well, Clerk Key answered, to be fair.
Somebody just asked, what is the meeting about?
It is about the budget.
She answered. That's fair. I think there's another question coming up about the tree trimming.
Someone said, in the future, can we, the residents, have the same notification as the board? Thanks in advance.
The residents did get the same notification as the board.
Okay, another question. Is there money in the budget for public works? I've been trying to get a tree trim for some time now.
Yes, I did increase services over in public works.
Okay.
Someone said, where at on the site is it published, this meeting, please?
I'm not on the site right now to tell you where to go, but if you're on here, you're about to hear the budget. It will be broken down to you. If you've got any questions about the budget, you can ask your questions.
Former trustee Dwayne Mohammed in the house. I think they're still waiting.
Yes, it definitely has. I added more police officers in the budget.
Sorry, I'm gonna go back. Someone's saying in the chat, I see 3 people in the chat. Not in this one, in the recording.
Will the budget address public safety in our village?
Yes, it definitely has. I added more police officers in the budget. So we are caring and showing that we need public safety.
She is answering questions, y'all. What? That's what I found. I'm like, wow, she's actually answering questions. I'm not here to judge. This is why I'm not live right now, because I don't want to be in the chat where people are like, oh, it's the truth or it's not the truth. I'm just pointing out where did it go wrong, knowing that we were headed to be state led or state run, and Tiffany was sitting there. It's quite a perspective once you look back and know that the state of the village and where it was headed towards being state run. And I don't know where they are now. I think that's a good question for residents to pay attention to and make all your decisions based on what's best for you. Because once the state gets in there, it's basically the village of Dolton in name only. Because whoever is the sitting mayor, as was explained in the last video, if they even keep the mayor, they can kick that one out. So it's pay attention. Pay attention. I mean, what sounded like a meme at first, do your research, is really sounding a little bit different. It's sounding a little bit different because as I'm going back and doing my research, I'm that for one, she is answering questions. This is Zoom. I don't know, maybe Zoom would have been the best place to keep the meetings because good grief. Fast forward 3 years or almost 3 years at this.
Out of respect for the fire department, why wasn't the meeting postponed till after his funeral?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, we didn't know that the funeral was going to be the day of this hearing. As you know, it is 10 days out that you have to post for a hearing legally. So legally, we couldn't change anything. So there are people there on behalf of the mayor and trustees to speak to that.
That was a very fair answer. What do you think? This is why I'm not live, because you can put it in the chat. Not judging, but is this
All right, I think this
fair?
question was answered, but what date was the notice for this special board meeting posted for the general public?
July 21st.
Clerk Key answered that question. That's interesting. Seems like all questions are being.
Are we going to really get clear answers about this budget? Why are salaries combined on line items? Example, police chief line item says 270,000. Village admin says 200,000.
That's a valid question.
Chris, can you answer that?
In the notes or descriptions column, it explains who is included in each line item. So the 270,000 for police chief was police chief and 2 deputy chiefs. The 200,000 was the village administrator and the executive assistants for the village administrator and the mayor. So each line item for payroll purposes has a detailed breakdown of what each one consists of.
I don't know. That sounded like a fair answer. It was a fair question, and Tiffany asked the correct person to answer that question. So let's see if we are ready to go on with this meeting.
Look like the attorney has his hand up here. You're on mute.
Go ahead, attorney.
I do not have my hand up. I just want to remind everyone that because this is a virtual meeting due to the pandemic, that we need to make, when we do adjourn this meeting, we need to have a roll call vote on the adjournment rather than just a by consensus vote for the motion to adjourn. And that is because of the fact that it's a virtual meeting due to the pandemic. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
All right, thank you.
Seems like good. I mean, this meeting is cool.
Somebody else said, I'm sorry, please repeat, but I'm not sure what they're asking to be repeated.
Okay.
All right.
Whoever had the question, can you rephrase, like reframe your question?
Okay. Fair. I was gonna say, this seems like a cool meeting. Everybody seems cool, calm, and collected. Where did it go wrong? And part of this is I'm really looking at how she's giving everyone in the chat
They're asking Chris to repeat the budget lines.
a chance to ask questions. Gotta have premium. What's up with that? What's up with that?
To repeat what he just stated?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So the two budget lines that were discussed were the police chief, which was a 270,000, which consists of the police chief and 2 deputy chiefs. The administration line that has the village administrator, the executive assistant for the mayor, and the village administrator. If you look in the description column, it will explain what each line item consists of.
All right.
Pretty fair. It's pretty fair. Let's see. Clerk. Okay. Brittany looks good. He's there. And
The budget I received doesn't have individual salaries. Why is that? Example, how much does the chief make? How much does each deputy chief make?
I'm
Chris,
looking at Chris.
So 1 second.
Looking at his face.
The chief makes 100,000. One of the deputy chiefs makes 80,000, and the other deputy chief makes 86,569. The reason why there are two deputy chiefs is because one is out on medical purposes. So until that situation gets resolved, the village has two deputy chiefs on staff.
That answered the question that was just asked without it being asked.
all right. Any more questions, Derek? We're gonna conclude our hearing. Going on to the agenda.
Wow.
That is it.
All right.
That's how it went.
Can I get a motion to adjourn the appropriation ordinance hearing?
I motion.
So we're gonna move over to notice of the special meeting of Board of Trustees via Zoom live stream on YouTube, Saturday, July 31st, 2021. The time is now 11:37, and can you call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Holmes,
Here.
trustee Norwood,
Present.
trustee Steve,
Present.
trustee Belcher,
Here.
trustee House,
Here.
trustee Brown.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. If you all will stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge. Under old business, discussion and possible action required for approval of ordinance number 21-004, adopting a budget appropriation ordinance for FY fiscal year of 2021 through 2022. Can I get a motion to pass the budget?
I motion.
And is there a second to pass the budget? Okay, just for the record, guys, you have to put a motion and a second on the floor to open up discussion, and you can amend or adjust. So,
Okay, so I find this is where I found it wild. It's like, okay, is this where it started? Motion to approve the budget. Now, I think it's very important to point out that this is a board meeting. And so you can have a motion to approve the budget or a motion to approve the budget with amended items so that you can go forth in discussion. Let's see how they're going to handle it.
can someone second his motion to pass the budget?
I have an amended motion for the budget.
Okay,
So I would motion that the ordinance number 21-
Okay. Did you see that? Now, this is what I noticed. That guy looks uninterested. Brittany looks like she's here to take care of business. Fergie looks like she's here to take care of business. Tammy looks like she is here to take care of business. Jason, I don't know, because he obviously had something to say, which we're going to ask, but this right here, I noticed she like turned her head and smiled. What's funny? I didn't see Anybody else smiling? No one. This. Now, remember, we're on our way. We're on our way for the state. And at some point, these two were at odds. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying look at the behaviors, knowing what's pending. I just personally, I didn't see anybody else smile. And it's very important when you are in a board meeting to look and be professional, whether you are there on Zoom or in person.
004 be approved with the amendments of line 1-12-422 being reduced 55,000 for the grant writer and transferred to 112-549 to put it as a contract. Second amendment will be reducing line 112-424 from 70,000 to 35,000. Third amendment, reducing line
Wait a minute, trustee, so you're amending 70K to 34K, what is that for?
70 to 35K for a reduction.
Of what?
Well, if I may, I want to complete the motion and then we're in discussion.
Hold on, trustee, Madam Chair.
Again, I'm looking at Tammy. She looks like she's writing something. She looks like she's trying to figure it out. Clerk Key, she's probably taking the notes. Brittany, there for business. I mean, he ain't smiling. He's bringing up something. And she has a wide grin on her face. What? I mean, this is stuff that I notice is professionalism. This is merely based on that. Look at this picture. So if we put this picture up and say, oh my goodness, this is the dream team, how does everybody look serious but Trustee Belcher?
Chair, Madam Chair,
Yes,
if I may.
Yes.
It does a first movement with.
What was that? What was that head shake? Wait. What was that?
Draw his motion and allow Trustee House to make a motion with certain amendments. Because that's the proper parliamentary.
Let me go back.
5,000. Third amendment, reducing line.
Wait a minute, trustee, so you're amending 70K to 34K, what is that for?
70 to 35K for a reduction.
Of what?
Well, if I may, I want to complete the motion and then we're in discussion.
Hold on, trustee, Madam Chair,
yes,
if I may.
Yes.
It does a first movement withdraw his motion and allow Trustee House to make a motion with certain amendments. Because that's the proper parliamentary procedure. There's now two motions with 0 seconds on the floor. So if the first movement wants to withdraw his motion, then Trustee House can make an motion to approve the appropriation ordinance as amended, subject to the following amendments. Get the second and then list the amendments.
Right. So basically, as I stated, they have to make a motion in a second and then talk about discussion to basically amend it how they
You're
like.
correct, ma'am.
Okay. So
correct.
Let's go
You're
back
correct.
to
So
what I just stated.
Right.
Okay. So is there a motion and second to approve the budget, and then you can make your amendments? Is what I was stating in the beginning. So is there first and second? I know that Trustee Holmes motioned it, and is there a second? And then you can make your adjustments, Trustee House.
So let me, just for clarity. So I thought the motion would come, if there were amendments to be made, the amendments would be included with the motion.
You could do it one of two ways. The mayor's absolutely 100% correct. So you can make the second and then ask for a motion to amend it with the listings. Or Trustee Holmes could withdraw his motion. You could make a motion as amended. The simpler way to do it is the way the mayor said it, is you make the motion, you get the second. You could second it, trustee.
Okay, what are you shaking your head for? Now, Tammy was listening. I saw that. She's listening. Whitney's listening. He's there. He's listening, but what is all this shaking the head? No, 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 no. Again, is this a pattern? Tiffany's not even speaking. This is not even about her. The attorney is talking about the rules. And what is all this? No, 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 no.
And then you
Mhm.
could ask for a friendly amendment or a motion to amend with those changes. But now that there's a motion on the floor, it has to be second, or when you try a motion to go forward, that doesn't work under Robert's rules. So what you could do is second it and then ask for a motion to amend as follows. And then you just go through the changes that you want to make. That's how I would.
Well, no, I'm
So
not.
I have a question.
Oh, no,
But
trustee.
you're wrong.
Yeah, I
One
have a
second.
question.
See, here we go. Here we go. Um, um, now I'm pointing this out because these two I see shaking their heads. Tammy is shaking her head. She's nodding up and down. Like, okay, I'm listening. I'm not saying whether she agrees or not. This is not even me trying to uh, make that my hypothesis. That's not what this is about. I just noticed that as the attorney was speaking, Tammy was shaking her head up and down as if, okay, I'm listening. I'm trying to, make sure we got the rules right, make sure we're doing this right. And she's shaking her head no. So which one is it? Is it, okay, I'm listening, but no, it's interrupt the attorney time. And Tiffany is saying, whoa, 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 whoa. And I think in this, it's valid. This is valid. This is right here, Ms. Belcher. Is this not out of order? Let's see.
Okay,
Trustee Belcher, 1 second.
just for
So,
clarity,
yeah.
I'm not. I will not second that motion.
Okay, so if no one's going to second his motion, it would die. Then you can go ahead and make your own motion. So
Madam
anybody?
Chair, can we ask, thank you, sorry. Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, can we ask, no one will second the first motion that was made. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, nobody's answered. So yeah, the motion is not perfected. So now we can go on to a second motion. Trustee House, if you want to make your motion.
Okay, so see, you notice the attorney pointed out nobody else answered. I don't know if I just caught him sleep or he just looking asleep, but I, I think the clerk is just taking notes. So Whitney's listening. He's there. Tammy was nodding her head and looked like she was taking notes, listening. And you want to interject and shake your head no. And then it seems like now you're speaking for the entire board. You and then Jason pipes in, knowing that we're headed to be state run. I mean, they all do. I'm just going to keep putting that out there that this is where we are. We're knowing that the only thing changed seemed to be relationships here. I don't care to fathom what the personal relationships are. Ultimately, this is about the people getting down to the business of the people. And this right here is unnecessary, first of all. But I understand. Trustee House will not second that motion. That's That's the professional way to do it. And so, yes, it dies. However, notice when the question was asked, you're the only one shaking your head up and down. Like, I don't know if I just caught this at a bad time because everybody looks asleep except for y'all two.
Now, then the form that you wanted to would be the appropriate time.
Okay. So is this the time to make the motion?
As I said, this would be the appropriate time.
Okay. So I would motion for the approval of ordinance number 21-004 with the following amendments. Line 1-12-422,
Like, what?
reduced by $55,000 for the grant writer, transferring that to line 1-12-549, putting that as a contracted service. Line 1-12-424, reducing from $70,000 to $35,000. Line 1-12-423, reduced from $95,000 to $42,000. And line 1.
You break down each item that you are adjusting, what it is, what's the reason for it.
First line item was $55,000 for the grant writer, transferring that from employee to a contract service. The second line item is the youth services, reducing from $70,000 to $35,000.
Whoa. You want to do what now? You want to reduce the use? Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Fourth item is the customer service reps, the part-time customer service reps, reducing it from 4 to 2. And the fourth item is reducing the trainings from $30,000 to $10,000. The overall summary of request for reductions is cost savings to the village.
Okay. So each trustee, I will hear from you as relates to what Trustee House is proposing. And then the grant writer, what's the ending amount? Was it 35? Is that what I heard?
The grant writer is being transferred from one line to another with the same amount.
Okay, so they're just going to be contract.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with Trustee Norwood about the items that Trustee House has proposed.
So I'm in regards to the line items that we removed.
Hold on. I thought Tiffany was the only one that said in regards to. I'm sorry.
My main concern was the amount of spending. So that's how I went about making changes. I wanted to be more conservative in terms of the spending. So I did hear that, I did hear Trustee House, our finance guys state that this budget is spending more in this year than we've spent in the last 8 years. So I took that in consideration. I looked over the budget. I understand that we need police officers. So of course we didn't want to touch that. I understand that we need firefighters. Didn't want to touch that. I understand that we need public works. Didn't want to touch that. The grant writer, I feel that the grant writer should be on contract. As I explained to you before, I think that with a position like that, I'm more comfortable knowing that we're actually, they're actually doing their job and bringing in revenue. So I feel as if we have them on contract. As I think I stated to you before, if we do that, then it can come across us if they're making money for the village and they're bringing in the funds as they should, then I say that we can continue their services. So that's why I decided to move that to contract. The youth services, I say that as the head of the youth committee, I'm with funding the youth committee, but I want to see where it goes. So I figure, hey, let's start with 35,000. Let's see what we can do with that. And if we need more, we can always amend it. I think as you stated to me before, in regards to the customer service reps, I understand we've always had Larry, so I'm for adding another customer service rep. And in regards to training, I understand that we need training. So I've done the math, and with the 10,000 that we have, we can still complete the trainings necessary. And if we need more money there, I figure that we can always, like you stated to me before, add to that. But my main concern was the overall spending. So when I looked at the budget, how I made my decision again, as I looked over the things and decided what was what we could prioritize at a later point, or things that we can always make changes to at a later time once we bring in more money, or those projections are, we've actually received some of the money there in the budget.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Brown?
Okay, as Trustee Norwood stated, I felt the same way as in regards to the reduction. And again, as far as the clerks, we have always worked on a reduced staff anyway. So we did add to, and if two are needed later on, then we can always add. But to this entire thing that we asked for reduction, later on down the line, I'm sure if there is an increase needed, that we can always go back and make those changes to these necessary services that we spoke about today. Again, as she said, fire, police, public works are our number one priority. So again, let's not touch those, but we can make a reduction in these other areas. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Steves?
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
The trustees, we came up with these small amount of reductions or small amount of changes. Still, it's still a heavy. The administration budget raised up a lot. It's still a decent amount of money that we're spending, more than we have in the past. I think we went from 22 million to 24 million, but I think the administration got 98 to 99% of the things that was proposed. So it's our efforts to work with the administration and be conservative, try to be conservative of our spending. The town is in a better financial condition than it has been in the past some years now, and that's from conservative spending every year. So I think this is it's still a balanced budget with a small surplus, and we get some things that we needed. I know the public works needed the fire, more police officers. I think 10 police officers. I think this is a balanced budget, and it will help the town to move forward.
Okay. All right, thank you. Trustee Belcher? We didn't catch it. Trustee Belcher?
But I have no comment.
Okay, so you have no reasons for why so you're in agreement with what he's proposing?
I am in agreement with what Trustee House amendments.
Okay, so do you want to get explanation to the residents of why you agree with it?
No, I don't.
All right. Next, Trustee House.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, so Betsy, I just went through every trustee to go off of your reason for cutting whatever it is.
Trustee Holmes wasn't asked.
Trustee Belcher, you're out of order. I have the floor. So just give me a second. Trustee House, as I was stating, the items that you're proposing, I was just asking each trustee their reason for why they want to cut. So if you can give me your reasons for why you want to cut the items.
I'm sorry. My original statement was overall was cost savings to the village.
So that's why you want to reduce each item?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Holmes?
Good evening. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I guess I'm on mute now. First and foremost, I'm with keeping us full service with public work, police, and fire. We must maintain that at all costs. But I'm against cutting service, especially with our youth. We need to fund our youth and help them and enhance the quality of life. And we do need a full-time grant writer to bring in these funds. And if we find it so that the income is not coming in, then we can adjust it from there. But we need a full-time grant writer. Customer service, we need full-time customer service here too. You know, if we're going to enhance the quality of life and help this village, we have to take that risk and do what we have to do to get updated. Training, same thing with training. We have to have ongoing training. You know, safety is our priority, but, you know, I'm against cutting. You know, we have to work to do what we have to do. Thank you.
Okay. So everyone has spoken. I'm gonna give you guys my reason for why we need what we need. I spoke to almost every trustee that's related to the budget. We had a budget meeting last Monday, and if anybody wanted to cut, adjust, your time was then, not the day of passing. That way everybody would have been on one accord, and we could have got through whatever the disagreements are for cutting the budget items. Grant writer, I stated always before, we need a full-time grant writer. We need someone to go get the money like how we've been doing before. Did you guys know that we didn't have a SAM number or dunce number? And since 2013, we have not been writing federal grants.
Service, we need full-time customer service here too, and help them and enhance the quality of life. And we do need a full-time grant writer to bring in these funds. And if we find it so that the income is not coming in, then we can adjust it from there. But we need a full-time grant writer. Customer service, we need full-time customer service here too. You know, if we're going to enhance the quality of life and help this village, we have to take that risk and do what we have to do to get updated. Training, same thing with training. We have to have ongoing training. You know, safety is our priority, but, you know, I'm against cutting. You we have to work to do what we have to do. Thank you.
Okay. So everyone has spoken. I'm gonna give you guys my reason for why we need what we need. I spoke to almost every trustee as related to the budget. We had a budget meeting last Monday, and if anybody wanted to cut, adjust, your time was then, not the day of passing. That way, everybody would have been on one accord. And we could have got through whatever the disagreements are for cutting the budget items. Grant writer, as I stated always before, we need a full-time grant writer. We need someone to go get the money, like how we've been doing before. Did you guys know that we didn't have a SAM number or dunce number? And since 2013, we have not been writing federal grants. Now, we do the fill in the blank grants. Did you guys know that we didn't have a SAM number or dunce number? And since 2013, we have not been writing federal grants. Now we do the fill in the blank grants. That's okay, but right now we're trying to get different money, infrastructure money, different things of that nature. And as it relates to the youth, I'm big on youth. I grew up here in Dolton. I don't think that's right that you guys will cut the budget to hire kids when you know carjackings are happening and they're kids that's doing all the crimes that's related to Dolton, whether it's shootings, drive-by stuff, all kinds of stuff. I can go on and on. So I'm saying that we have to figure out a way to employ the youth and make sure that they have an outlet. As it relates to getting grass cut, y'all know that I have used my resources as relates to the township to get grass cut. That's a program that I want to initiate here in the village of Dolton to have the youth cut the grass, do the leaves, and also do the snow. Customer service reps. We are in need of help with answering phones. If anybody that's watching this, pay attention to the phone lines. We do not answer the phones here because we are overbooked with complaints. So sometimes they come to Larry, then they bounce to everybody's department. The clerk's department, Stacy's department over there at Public Works. So they can't really fully do their job because they're constantly on the phone taking care of that. Training. That's shocking. Me for you guys don't want training to get educated as being a new elected official. Everyone needs to go to training because obviously everybody don't know their title, their position here and what it entails as it relates to being a trustee who legislates, the mayor governs, and the clerk. So I think everybody needs to engage in more training. There is a motion and there is a second on the floor. I'm okay with whatever the Board of Trustees have decided, and I will always govern the town and do what's best for the residents. services was put in by myself for public works, for public safety, which is firemen, and also the police. You know that there is a spike in crime in Dolton, and we do need more officers. We need to make sure we patrol our beats and make sure the community feels safe with what the board has decided, and also making sure that they have the services, which now I feel they have due to myself putting them in the budget. I am ready to make a vote, and Clerk Key, you can call the roll.
May I be recognized?
Well, it's not, we weren't doing a long drawn out discussion. That's why I let everybody talk, have the floor, say how they felt. And I want her to call the roll so now that the residents can be heard. You guys made your decisions.
It's just one thing I just want to clear up that was misstated.
Okay, let me call the roll first, and then on the citizens address, you can speak, because I don't want to make it a back and forth. I let everybody speak, and I said my piece, and we want to go forward. So, trustee, hold on one second.
May I be recognized and make a statement? Trying to get it on.
You can't always plan when you'll need a gun. Rational gun owners carry not because it's a weapon, but because it's a shield.
The need for a grant writer. We just wanted to put it on the contract.
Okay, let me see. Okay, trustee Steves.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The statement was made about part-time grant writer. We just made it a contract for the same amount. So it's not part-time. It's the same amount of payment. It's just a contract. That's it. Because I think we all understand and realize the need for a grant writer. We just wanted to put it on the contract. That's it.
Okay. Well, I'm okay with whatever you guys decide to do, believe it or not. And I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure the residents are okay. So I just thought that you guys said that $85,000 of a $24 million budget is being conservative. That just is not how wing the other. It's like it's $85,000 you took out of the budget for small items compared to things that's really needed to fix what we all ran on. So I'm just gonna move forward. Anybody else want to make a statement before I conclude this?
I'd like to be recognized, Mayor.
Okay, go ahead, Trustee Holmes.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is we done had a lot of youth that been cutting grass and working in the village, volunteering their time free. So I'm encouraging any and everybody, we don't need to cut our youth out. We need to pay attention to them and help them and enhance the quality of life.
May I be recognized?
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question because it sounds as if, when you're saying cut the youth. I mean, I think that it was you that explained to me that at any given time, we can always add money to the budget, meaning if we reduce it at this point to take down the spending as of now, due to the fact that a lot of these numbers are projections, that we can always go back and make changes. So for instance, if we limit it to 35,000, that does not totally mean that if the youth program, and I'm asking at the head of the youth committee, it doesn't mean that if we need more money, we can go back to the board and ask for some at a later time, correct?
Yeah, you can always adjust the budget. But my thing is, we need that now. So why would you guys cut that? That's not gonna hurt us at all. When I created the budget was at a surplus of $13,000 overage, and everything was included that everybody wanted. We even gave the clerk a full-time clerk with benefits. So everybody got what they wanted. So for the cut little things such as, which is big to me, the youth, when we need to create things to give them stuff to do, I just didn't think that was right. I think we should definitely leave that there. And we shouldn't go back and amend that due to the fact that we're still cutting high grass, due to the fact that the weather is on a shift and you can still keep them employed here in the village of Dolton as relates to, leaves, to remove the leaves, and then also a snow removal service. So either way, I'm going to create it just so that we have that here in the village of Dolton. I was just hoping that the board was with me on making sure the youth was currently working and constantly working throughout the year, throughout the season. So that was my thing about it.
Mayor?
So, yes.
Mayor, I do want to add one note.
Oh, go ahead.
No, this is Chris.
Okay, Chris.
I do want to add one note. If at a later date the board does decide to raise the budget, the board can only raise the budget up to what is currently thing. They can change budget lines, but they cannot raise the overall budget for each fund without going through this same process they're going to now. So if down the line they do want to raise the budget for the youth, they would have to equally offset something on a different line item or redo this entire budget process with public hearing and everything.
Mhm.
Mayor, may I say one thing?
Yes, go
Just
ahead.
for the record, you said clerk, and I just want to clarify that it's deputy clerk position, just
Yeah.
for the record.
Yeah, it is. It's deputy
Okay.
clerk for full-time for
Okay.
Clerk Allison Key. So, okay, moving on. So, Clerk Key, can you call the roll?
Sure. Trustee Holmes,
Aye.
trustee Norwood,
Aye.
trustee Steve,
Aye.
trustee Belcher, trustee House,
Aye.
and trustee Brown.
Aye.
The amended budget passed.
All right, thank you so much. Next, we have citizens address.
Day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you know that I'll be back when the day is new and I'll have more ideas for you and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. You always make each day such a special day. You know how? By just your being you. Only one person in the whole world like you. That's you yourself. I'll be back next time. Bye-bye.